This is the true crime retelling of the killer clown murder. It's Saturday morning. The date is May 26th, 1990. The location is Florida, Palm Beach County. The air is warm and heavy with the scent of cut grass. A soft hum of lawnmowers and birdsong fills the suburban neighborhood of Royal Palm Beach. Inside the Warren home, 40-year-old Marlene Warren is enjoying a calm morning. Her son, Joey, is with friends. Then comes a knock. At the door stands a clown. White painted smile, orange wig, red rubber nose, a bouquet of flowers in one hand, two balloons in the other. One balloon reads, "You're the greatest." The other, Snow White. Neighbors glance curiously. Children in the street think it's a joke. But this is no joke. Marlene smiles politely, puzzled. She accepts the gifts. Then the clown raises a pistol. 2 shots ring out. Marlene collapses in a pool of blood at her doorway. The clown turns, unhurried, and walks to a waiting white Chrysler LeBaron. The engine starts. The car disappears. This was the beginning of one of the strangest true crime stories in American history. The killer clown murder. A murder disguised as laughter. A crime that would haunt Florida for nearly 3 decades. Who was Marlene Warren? To understand the crime, we need to know the victim. Marlene Warren was a woman many described as kind, generous, and devoted to her family. She was a businesswoman, helping run a successful car rental company. She had a strong circle of friends, but her life wasn't perfect. Her marriage to Michael Warren was troubled. Michael owned a used car dealership, and he had a reputation, a hustler, a man who played fast and loose with the law. And then there was Sheila Keene, a younger woman who worked repossessing cars for Michael. She was striking, confident, and rumors spread fast. She and Michael were closer than they should be. Marlene had begun to suspect her husband's affair. Friends said she confided in them. Behind the successful facade, there were cracks, and those cracks would soon shatter into tragedy. The day of the murder, May 26th, 1990. The Warren household was full that morning. Marlene's 20-year-old son, Joey, and several of his friends were inside. The knock came at around 10:45 a.m. Joey answered first, then called for his mother. Witnesses later described the clown vividly. Orange wig, red nose, white gloves, and 2 balloons. The image was burned into their minds. As Marlene collapsed, Joey screamed. Chaos erupted. Neighbors rushed out. One saw the white Chrysler LeBaron speeding away. Marlene was rushed to the hospital. 2 days later, she was gone. The community was in shock. A clown had walked up in broad daylight, delivered flowers and balloons, and murdered a woman in front of her son. The press called it the killer clown murder. But as bizarre as the murder was, the investigation would prove even stranger. Early suspicions. Detectives immediately began piecing together the crime. The evidence: a clown costume purchased from a local shop, balloons and flowers bought from a nearby public supermarket, fibers from a wig, witness accounts of a white Chrysler LeBaron. And then came the rumors. Everyone in Royal Palm Beach knew about Michael Warren's alleged affair with Sheila Keene. Sheila had reportedly been seen buying clown makeup, a wig, and balloons just days before the murder. The motive seemed clear: eliminate Marlene, and Michael will be free to be with Sheila. But proving it was another story. The cold case. The case dragged. Despite suspicions, prosecutors couldn't pin it down. The Chrysler LeBaron? It had been reported stolen, later found abandoned. The clown costume? Sold to many customers, not just Sheila. Witnesses? Their memories blurred with time. Months slowly churned into years while the evidence sat in boxes. And then, the shocking twist. Michael Warren and Sheila Keene actually got married in Las Vegas in 2002. The suspected lovers, now husband and wife, living quietly under the radar. The killer clown case seemed destined to remain unsolved. A ghost story whispered in Florida. Then science revolves. But time brings change. By the 2000s, Forensic science had leapt forward. DNA testing was now more powerful, more precise. In 2014, Palm Beach detectives reopened the case. Evidence was pulled from storage: wig fibers, balloon strings, costume fragments. The results were stunning. DNA linked the evidence to Sheila Warren. Nearly 27 years after the murder, the clown had finally been unmasked. In 2017, Sheila was arrested in Virginia, where she and Michael ran a burger restaurant. The killer clown had been hiding in plain sight, living with the husband of her victim. The trial: Sheila was charged with first-degree murder. The case electrified the media again. Courtrooms buzzed with spectators. Prosecutors laid out the affair, the disguise, the evidence. But Sheila pled not guilty. Her lawyers argued the DNA was too weak, the case too old. For years, the trial dragged on. And then, in 2023, Sheila stunned everyone. She pled guilty to second-degree murder. The killer clown case was finally closed. In April 2023, the clown was finally unmasked. After decades of whispers and speculation, Sheila Warren pled guilty to second-degree murder in the killing of Marlene Warren. She was sentenced to 12 years in prison. But because of time already served in Florida's sentencing laws from 1990, her release came shockingly fast. In November 2024, after serving just a year and a half behind bars, Sheila Warren walked free. Her attorney insists she maintains her innocence to this day. And what about Michael Warren, the man at the center of it all? He was once Marlene's husband, then Sheila's. In the 1990s, he was convicted on unrelated fraud and racketeering charges tied to his used car business, serving nearly 4 years. But despite years of suspicion, Michael Warren was never charged in connection with Marlene's murder. Today, Sheila Warren lives outside prison walls. Michael Warren remains a free man, and the family of Marlene Warren is left with questions that may never be answered. The killer clown murder wasn't just about one crime. It was about betrayal, about how love, jealousy, and greed can twist into horror, about how science can awaken justice, even decades later. But questions remain. Why did it take nearly 30 years? Did Michael Warren escape accountability? And how many other cold cases wait for the day when technology finally unmasks the truth? The clown had a painted smile, but behind the mask was murder.